What's up, everybody? This is my podcast, and it's called What? You Be the Judge. So, this podcast is going to be about climate change. You heard that right? Climate change. So, the first thing you want to do is click that subscribe button and subscribe if you are not already subscribed already so you can be updated on all my videos that I drop before I drop them. Drop these bombs of knowledge. So let me start off just by saying this. Climate change. That's a very used and familiar word around the world. Around the world. You see? And climate change does not begin as some people may think with the climate. It's the people that's inside of the climate. So first let's start with just the people climate before we reach the outer edges problems situation of climate change. Let's focus on the human change, which is part of the climate change, see, because it starts with the human change. So we all change, we all grow. You see, climate change starts with human change. Example, the toxins and chemicals that we put in our body that's not natural, it can have a person going through some human changes. Anything that's not natural that goes in a human body will redirect the human immune system to change. Example, let's speak about big people. I have, let me give my disclaimer. I have nothing against big people. I love all people. That's lovable. That makes sense. But let's focus on human change first. Bear with me. A big person, they could be small as Pinocchio, right? A big person could start off small as Pinocchio, but the effects and the unnatural foods and the food processing, their process system of the immune system, digestive system rather, could make a person from skinny to big. All depends on how much food they intake to change their human digestive system and their immune system change. So the first step to climate change is starting with the human change. Our body, what we intake is what we're going to get on the outside. Like if a person, so imagine the world as you, because as some people say, right, we are the world. You are what you feed yourself. So imagine the world inside of your body. Okay, treat yourself as you would treat the world, right? To escape human body change, to escape what we're going to talk about, climate change, right? But it starts with us as humans. We can change our DNA by working out, right? If somebody work out all day, they're changing their type of body climate to go from small to big. How did that change? Some type of force behind the human change of the physical features can be defined how a person work out their body, what they eat, healthy thoughts, So vice versa. If somebody would feed themselves healthy food, right? A bunch of healthy food, their body, our body, would it change for the worst You see, it'll change for the best. Because you are what you eat. So if you eat toxin food, that makes your body what? Toxic. If you think toxic thoughts, that make your mind react toxic. So the human change is like the climate change, but it starts with the human. Why? Because we are in control of our body first, and knowing how it affects us, and knowing how it can affect other people, other places, other countries. So by us knowing the effects of feeding the human body climate, okay, pig, right? All this pork, beef, sweets, soda, it can turn your body from a healthy climate to an unhealthy climate within your body. Okay? It can turn anything, any toxic trait can make your body dysfunction in your own climate change. So we know as humans, viewing yourself as the world, we know we can't allow certain chemicals, certain toxins, certain food, certain thoughts. It starts with a thought. Certain thoughts in our immune system that's not good for us, or else it'll start tearing the body down. It'll start to break down more easily. Example, a car. Would you put oil in the gas tank of a car? And if you would, your car will have some dysfunctions and possibly change the engine. You see, change, climate change, body change is change, but is a change good? Now I would see if putting oil in a car was a new thing and it made a car drive better to the point you wouldn't worry about the engine changing or the engine shutting down on you by putting oil in your car. But since that's not the case is this world many, many centuries ago did not have factories. And why am I bringing up factories? Example, would you hold a lot of smoke inside of your factory, wherever your company is located, or would you have a chimney, like a chimney where the smoke come and leave out and go somewhere else? But at the same time, it's going in the atmosphere. So the even smoke from a factory is shooting in the atmosphere, spreading toxins to our climate, which is not good for balance when it comes to air, because it's like clean air versus dirty air. And if you mix the two, it start to change the air molecules, and people often can get sick. Not even often. People get sick a lot from the toxins that's in the air. Germs, right? Germs come from toxins or backed up bacteria in a certain place or from the air that just settled around the atmosphere where people breathe it in. So that's not a good thing, because once again, we're putting something in the air that's not natural. Now, if it rains and we throw water in the air and it hit the ground, it's going to evaporate back up because it's a natural cause and effect. But if you throw smoke in the air, okay, the smoke is not going to evaporate down to the ground to cause a natural effect of it going back into the sky to recycle itself to rain again to help us, because we need water. Water is our source. Water is our life. Water is life. So climate change not only changes on the outside world, but it changes within us. And the number one problem with climate change is oil and gas. If you take if you take it back centuries ago when people was riding horses, when people was riding wagons, when people was walking, the climate was doing better than ever because we had less toxins in the air. Gas that's under the ground that get put in the car and it comes out through smoke from the exhaust pipe in the back of the car, which once again spreads toxic gas air inside of our climate, which is changing our climate day by day, which is the reason why I'm not saying I'm a religious person, but stuff in the Bible do hit home. It's a reason why, if man wrote the Bible, or if some people believe God wrote the Bible, or angel wrote the Bible, whoever. But in the Bible, it states that we're going to be living in a time where summer feel like winter, winter feel like spring, and spring feel like autumn or something. It's like we're not going to be able to tell the seasons apart because of the climate is changing due to the humanity putting forth the seeds intentionally or intentionally knowing that it would change the climate to start more floods. So as you see more floods come, more hurricanes come, more tornadoes start to come. Why? Because the climate is not used to unnatural air hitting the air. So of course it's going to react different. Like if you would be in the military, like I got some friends from the military. They told me they had to go through a gas chamber with a gas mask on, right? So imagine, right, that same gas that's in cars just arrive in your house, like the gas chamber that my military friends was telling me about. You could pass out and die. So anything that's not natural is hitting the air. Yes, it can change the climate. Yes, it can change your human body. Yes, the world, Mother Nature can react to it unnaturally. And the effects of that could be, like I said, earthquakes, hurricanes, even the COVID. Sad to say. To this day, they say COVID started in Wuhan, China. But at the same time, if that was the case, how did it get way to America, way to other parts of the world if it started in such a location? But that's another subject. But it's showing you the air has been attacked. So if the air has been attacked, that means we are under attack. That means Mother Nature is under attack, and she's digesting herself from the toxins. The same way we have a digestive system, the same way Mother Nature has a digestive system to get rid of the toxins. So it will make sense for us not to know winter from summer, summer to autumn, autumn to spring. It'll all feel different because the cause is unnatural air, unnatural chemicals, and unnatural substances. Even airplane fuel, train fuel, all of that stuff is ran off of stuff that comes from under the ground, which was made to stay under the ground if you take it back thousands of years ago. So if anything is under the ground, you bring it out to the surface where it's unnatural at and start to use the unnatural forces on top of the earth. Of course, the earth is going to feel it and know it because it's an unnatural vibe, an unnatural vibration that's hitting the atmosphere to a positive natural vibration, and it causes it to stick together. So Mother Nature have to get rid of what's sticking to her, right? And digest it. So by her digesting it back into the earth, what happens? I told you. Earthquake, deaths, COVID. You have to understand that the climate was 10 times better when gas and oil and planes and all this modern stuff wasn't existing. Not taking nothing from it, not saying that planes are a bad idea, not saying that cars are a bad idea, but are you wondering why the government is talking about making electricity cars? I'll let you be the judge of that. So, with that being said, another problem with climate change, it's sad to say, is poor nutritional food for the poor people, for people in the lower class. So by people not eating, by people suffering, the earth feels it because we are part of earth. You are made in the image of this world. Therefore, you are part of the world. Therefore, you can cause effects of the world. Another example, if somebody is pregnant, she got her baby in the shape of a world in her stomach. That's her world. Like, that's my baby. That's my world, right? Why would she drink liquor every single day until the baby is born, intoxicating the baby? So when it come out, it's like the baby is dysfunctional, right? So take care of the world like you would take care of a baby. And you give it the right water, you give it the right foods, you give it the right nutrition, you give it some fresh air, you give it the right fresh air. You just don't inhale gas in your mouth and be like, oh yeah, no, so my baby is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, coming out natural because I put gas in it. No, it's not. Anything that's toxic can take you out of this world for the worst case scenario. But for other cases scenario, it can make you sick. It can make people premature. And also, by not allowing humans to eat, the earth is mourning. The earth is feeling not only the air unnatural toxins, but the vibration around earth that people is suffering for food that we can grow ourselves, that the earth produces itself. Think what I just said. The earth knows, God knows, angels know. If you believe in a higher power, you know that we all know that this earth produces our food naturally without having to, go through the meat process or even the vegetable process. Like they're trying to process everything to make it unnatural, which is going to cause a big disaster in the climate change, because not only is the air and the earth and Mother Earth is mourning because of the unnatural toxins that's coming from earth and being put in the atmosphere and hitting humans immune systems to change their, the human change, because this stuff can change your climate and your body like we talked about at the beginning of the video. So just imagine if you always put unnatural food in your body and you never ever ate, right? No natural food or fruits or juices in your life. How do you think your body would turn out to be? Would it turn out to be healthy and strong and, can fight any sickness? Or would you tear your organs down and your body down due to poor eating habits, or can only eat a certain amount of food, but the food that people who can barely get, like I say, poor nutritional food, is going to tear their body down eventually to the point it give them diseases, and it can possibly make them pass away early because of the unnatural toxins that's in their body, let alone in the air, around the air, around buildings. You see? So not only does climate change have to do with, like I said, toxins in the air or gas or oil, but it have a lot to do with humans who cannot eat or have a proper nutritional diet in their life. That's a major key because we are the world, we are the seed to produce a good world or a bad world. So climate change is just like this. They say money is the root of all evil. Personally, I don't believe that. Money is not the root of all evil. It's what people is doing with the money which makes it evil or good. So it's what people doing with the earth and the air and the toxins is what's going to make the climate change react good or bad. So this is the end of this podcast. And if you liked it, give me a subscribe, thumbs up, share this video to with your friends on social media. And when it comes to climate change, what do you think? Let you be the judge.